Hello, everyone. Yes, happy holidays. Let's see. Do I have a Sudoku Maker streaming mode? I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. Uh, Alrighty. Today Sudoku Pad is down. So we won't be solving puzzles today because I like solving puzzles in Sudoku Pad. But Sudoku Pad is undergoing some sort of painful growth experience. And so instead, I'm going to work on setting. And so I have had this thing on my to-do list for, I don't know, 4 months now or something, to make a puzzle for the Zodiac series. The way the Zodiac series works is that someone sets a puzzle with it, and then after they've set a puzzle, they choose some other person to set a puzzle. And the only information that you're given when you set this is that you're given a collection of 9 cells, which must, as part of the rules, be a disjoint set, meaning it has to be one of each digit 1 through 9. So Nell Gwen asked me to do it and gave me this collection of cells. I have gone ahead and given them letters to correspond to this because I want to do some sort of cryptographic clue. And yes, so David is correct that this is a Z. Now, there's no fantastic way to write that. So I'm just going to write it in like this. But that consequence is immediate because, well, there's 9 digits and 9 letters, so this cell is a Z. Okay, so in my endeavoring to sort of think about what to do with this, one of the things that I wanted to do is to make this a cage that sums to 1Z. And so if I do that, it does give me sort of these 2 letters, which you can figure out have to be E and H. I don't know why my writing went away. This is supposed to be Z. This is EH. EH. FG. FG. This tells me that E and H sum to 10 because of the cage there in the middle. I think really Nell chose this collection of letters because it made it impossible for me to have a break-in, which was in box 1. I think that was probably her primary motivation. But I probably want to do something with the fact, so I don't need to keep this cage. This is all true regardless of the cage, but I do this. And so I was thinking like maybe a mix of killer and numbered rooms, but cryptographic. Yeah, we could use that E and H aren't 5 somehow. Yeah, if we like mix in a lot of different constraints. Ideally, I'd like all the constraints. Yeah, so one thing I thought of was to make this so this is what I played with for a long time, and you can tell me how you think about or how you feel about it. I made this a 1E cage, and then this a 1H cage, and if you do that, it forces these now. Oops, that's not what I wanted. It forces these to add to 30 now, which I thought was going to be useful, and it kind of is because it makes these 6, 7, 8, 9 and gives you some implications about the digits, but it wasn't quite as interesting as I had hoped. So I might not do that, is the short version. Let's see. So, what are the other clue types that we have access to? Let's just mention all the standard clue types that do involve numbers in clues. So, killer, of course, we have. We can certainly do quadruples, is one of them. We can certainly do. I'm not going to do look and say cages. I'm not going to do sequence lines. Let's see. We can do little killers for sure. Let's see. We've got sandwich, exums, skyscrapers, numbered rooms. That might be it for standard clue types that are included in Sudoku Maker, which you could do. So I'm not necessarily. Oh, by the way, this is because I added in little killer as one of the things I might use. It re-centered all of this text. So these are EH. This is FG. Let's see. So how are we going to use... Yeah, so unfortunately, most of those don't really make E and H add to 10 a particularly interesting thing. I really like the idea of using like E and H both aren't 5 as a statement. It's a little tricky, unfortunately, to... I wonder if there's some way we can do that with numbered rooms and have that be useful. Let's see. Yeah, we can put that back in and see if it is interesting. Now I will say originally my intention. Oh, I see why it's doing that. It's because my little tool is stop it. Go away. Is responding to my thing. So that makes this a 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I have this sort of... I'm not in love with having the ones there, but I certainly don't want to just hand people what one is. And so the other option, depending on exactly how crazy this puzzle ends up being, is that we make this question mark E, question mark H, and just have other places or do it. Because I don't really want to use the numbers. It just feels deeply cynical to have a cage that necessarily starts with a 1. I guess this one having a question mark isn't so weird. Okay, I'm going to go back and make them question marks, having explained why I didn't make them question marks. I'm going to make it a question mark. Question mark Z, question mark E, not Z-E, question mark E, and this one will go back and make it question mark H. That doesn't change any of the logic at all, but it makes it feel more aesthetically better. Hey, Playmaker, hope you're doing well. So that certainly tells us that A and B are certainly for 1 through 5, and that F, at least one of F and G, is from 1 through 5, but also E and H now sum to 10, but neither of these cages can add to 19 or 18. So E and H now are either 3-7 or 2-8 in their capacity. So that's interesting. Sorry, not 2-8. Sorry. 3-7 or 4-6. There we go. That's better. Yes. Like that, but better. Okay, so yeah, E and H are not 5. And now A and B, I should certainly record, are little. And I suppose all of these numbers are little for that matter. So if I want to now use that A and B are little itty bitty numbers, is there some other clue type that would be really natural to put that with? I'm not sure. Oh, Sudoku Pad is now working for ELSF. Let's see. And of course, we've got like the corners of these boxes. We know that these are yeah, we could also certainly make a 2-cell cage that has a 1-digit total where that total is A or B, for example. For example, we could break the puzzle by putting a 2-cell cage here that sums to A. That would be fun. Let's see. Ooh, last week's quilt. Let's see. Do you do like a quilt a week? Is that the average pace at which the quilts appear? Let me have a look at the quilt. Ooh, I love that fabric. That is a really cool fabric. With the secret cats. The more stressed you're under, that makes a lot of sense. That is really cool. And I love the ones that are like a mix of black and a bunch of color. That like the one from last week. That one's very cool. Let's see. Could try and do like a little killer clue that runs through some of these cells. I was thinking like, ooh, I could make a little killer that has 2 Z's in it and do something with parity, but that would probably be disastrous. Let's see. I was looking at like if I could do like a 2-cell sum to E and something. So lunatism, the reason is that sort of from a blank grid, this cell has to be a Z because that's the only letter that's not present in looking at this cell. And so this cage that adds to Z-teen needs 2 digits that add to 10. And so now these numbers here, I'm assuming question mark automatically isn't 0. I suppose is a thing I will have to make explicit in the rules if I keep this. But that means that this sums to 1E, this sums to 1H. So in total, these 4 cells sum to 30. And so therefore they need to be 6, 7, 8, 9. That is the idea. Hey Panthera, how are you doing? Yeah, the usually it is considered a dick move to have leading question marks be able to be 0. Doing pretty well here. I have off tomorrow, which I appreciate. Let's see. I'm trying to look at various clues that point into this. I'm like, why can't all of this have been in box 1? How dare you try to stretch me, Nell? Okay. So like the 3 lows in this column, I guess if I'm trying to do some sort of outsidey bit, is sort of the most constraining piece as far as some of these assorted things go. So like if I thought about like a skyscraper clue here, the highest the skyscraper clue can be is something like 8. No, it's something like 6, because one of these numbers is at least 6. And so none of these are seen by the skyscraper clue. So yeah, so theoretically the highest skyscraper clue here from this side is a 6. So that might be interesting with putting an E and an H outside here as skyscraper clues. If we're going to agree that this is going to be a skyscraper puzzle, add text, cosmetic symbols, more text, centers, please. Because if I do that, make that an E, and I make hello. Oh, I see. And then I make H here. Those texts are not nearly large enough. One moment. Let me make this E larger. Okay, so instead of size 25, let's try size 45. E. E, please. Let me type E. There we go. Let me do the same thing down here. Oops. I will let me type H. And so that, in fact, forces that E and H, because neither of them can be 7, that makes them a 4-6 pair. Now, I'm not 100% sure that this isn't broken, if I'm being honest. But certainly it makes them a 4-6 pair, provided that this is correct. David says it's not possible. Yeah, it's not possible. Dagnammit. How dare you, skyscrapers. You have thwarted me again. Very sad. Okay. Still, I'm going to make this back to 45. Okay. So... yeah, because there's a 9 in this column somewhere, and it's not here. So one of these skyscrapers is quite small. Yeah, numbered room was my original theory. It's like one of E and H we know is in here. Exactly one of E and H. Whichever of E and H is the big one is in these cages, and whichever of E and H is the small one, the 3 or the 4, is up here. We can use like very bizarre things, like we know AB is not a 3-4 pair. because we know one of E and H is 3 and 4. Or sorry, is 3 or 4. So let's see. So yeah, so if we did do this with numbered rooms, we'd know one of them was a 4, 5, 6. One of these two numbers would have to be a 4, 5, 6. And we'd know one of them was not a 4, 5, 6, but that still leaves some amount of options. Is there some sneaky, horrible way that I could use that E and that A and B are not exactly a 3, 4 pair? That's probably not a kind thing to do. I do really like the observation that the skyscraper clue is at most 6. So that sort of like, so I could do it from one direction or the other, but not both. Is interesting to know. Oh, I hate it when keyboard shortcuts do things that I don't want them to do. I do need to remember that this is a Z. Oh, that's just gone. Okay. Well, sadly, this is one time when I would actually write letters in things if I were solving this, but Sudoku Maker does not allow me to write letters in things. So we'll have to just make do with that. Let's see. We could make the outside clues ambiguous as to whether they're skyscrapers or numbered rooms. Does that do anything interesting? If I know that the skyscraper clues can't possibly be, so if we say that the outside clues could be skyscrapers or numbered rooms, then we could certainly go back to the E. Oh no, the font size has gotten tiny again. What on earth happened? No, not that. Thank you. Can I have my grid back, please? Thank you. Okay. Why? Stop it. Stop it. Okay, 45. We click here. We type in E. Good. We type in H over here. Okay, so if we Y is not a letter in this puzzle. So now if we allow that E or H are ambiguity clues between numbered rooms and skyscrapers, then what does that tell us? That tells us at least one of these is a numbered rooms, because neither of these, because they can't both be skyscrapers. That doesn't immediately seem useful. Now, what we could do to sort of add a layer to the ambiguity is we could say that every time a particular letter shows up as an outside clue, it's always a numbered room, or it's always a the other thing. And that would be interesting. So you could say like it's all, so you could decide, okay, E is definitely a skyscraper when it's on the outside. That might be a good layer to go with the sort of mystery that this whole like thing is going with, of the letters and the sort of figuring out what's going on. I don't know if that's too crazy, but I feel like this puzzle series wants to be crazier on average than the average Zeta puzzle is. What do people think about that? Does that seem like a reasonable thing? And then question 2, does that actually get us anything with these clues? Just which is a separate question. Because I think there's no problem with them both being numbered rooms, unfortunately. Uh, as far as I can tell. Uh, I really like the restriction on the skyscraper clue, but I don't think I can figure out how to use it. Uh, is the problem that I seem to be running across here. Man, if only that version that was broken wasn't broken. That would be cool. Uh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe whenever there's two clues across from each other, one's a numbered rooms and one's a skyscraper for that row, but that feels a little less usable. Uh, okay, maybe I abandon this particular path and look for a different path. How else can we use the fact that all of these numbers in the middle here are tiny? Uh, uh, the last thing I saw you say uh, was the 6 will have a 9 in the last cell, and then are my comments showing up for you because you seem to have commented on something I said, but I got an error on my end. Uh, uh, yes, I think that's what happened, David, in that particular instance. Was that I think I might have had the same idea that you communicated because I don't think I got to do that. Uh, oh, is a 6 skyscraper in fact impossible even? Uh, uh, a 6 skyscraper would put a like let's just imagine uh that this is a 6 skyscraper. Uh, it would put a 789 over here. Uh, why would that make A be a 4-5 pair? Uh, puts E in column 3 twice. If E is 6, then the 6 would be in the 14 cage, right? Oh, you're thinking about the opposing numbered rooms. Okay, so it's not just if I make it just a skyscraper that it works. It's the if I make one a skyscraper and one a numbered rooms. Uh yeah, if one of these is a 6 skyscraper, yeah, a 6 skyscraper only works with low 6 and a 789 uh down below. Uh uh yeah, sadly it's not 4 5 6 7 8 9. It's just low 6 7 8 9 in that order. Uh Now, perhaps the easy way to get around this is to use uh, some sort of quadruple trick, like putting like an E quadruple here or something like that. Uh, uh, so I put an E quadruple up here. It tells me that E is in one of this many number of cells, and that might be enough to put pressure on something. Sadly, I don't think it's going to let me put an E in a quadruple. It is not going to let me put an E in a quadruple. Yeah, one of E and H is here, and the other of E and H is in one of these cages. Okay, I don't think I can do quadruple. I guess I could do quadruples with numbers in them if I make a separate cosmetic circles thing. Cosmetic symbols, circle. That's probably a little big for a circle. 35. How's that for a quadruple circle? Does that look reasonable? And then I could have cosmetic text. And we'll do this more normal size. This will be an E. Okay, so now I want to think about if we do that. Yeah, we could temporarily place a real quad next to it to compare the size. I guess it's a little bigger, but it's not radically larger. We can mess with it, make it a little bit smaller. 30 in size. Oh. There we go. So yeah, so what are we so as a skyscraper, as a numbered rooms, or as a ambiguous of skyscraper and numbered rooms. Yeah, so if E is yeah, so if E is a skyscraper, so if we just make this a skyscraper, one way or another, then yeah, the skyscraper clue, we've already established it's at most 6 by virtue of how things are going down here. But it can't actually be 6 because if it was 6, that digit exactly would be a 6. So now that makes E the 3, 4, 1. Which then makes H the 6, 7, 1. I'm actually going to find my text. I'm going to make this say ES. The S just means it's a skyscraper clue. And that allows me to put ENs around and then later maybe aesthetically make it look nicer if this ends up going somewhere. Okay, so that in particular corner marks an E in one of these cells, right? Because now E being 3 or 4 means one of these cells is an E. So we could put an E numbered rooms clue on the other side to take advantage of that a bit, I suppose. If we were so inclined. Why can't E go in column 3 in box 7? Because E is one of these numbers and E is not A or B, is the answer, David. So yeah, so if I put an E numbered rooms clue here, it now gives me a 4, 5, 6 over here. I don't know how interesting that is. But I feel like we're getting somewhere. We have a string of deductions that feed into each other and give us incrementally a little bit more information. So that is a step in the right direction towards making a puzzle. But I'm trying to figure out how to take advantage of the knowing that we have sort of an E corner marked into one of these cells. You'd never have thought Zeta would be so upset about so quick synopsis, AFK. A through Z are one of each, 1 through 9. These are killer cages. And this is a quadruple, and this is a skyscraper clue that says E. Yeah, an E at the bottom would need a 4, 5, 6. I agree with that. Yeah, so now the E cage is now the smaller cage. That is a very good oh, does that mean this E is not necessary? Oh, it might mean the E quadruple is not necessary. So if this is an E skyscraper clue, I think that's if E was a skyscraper clue, E could still be 6 without this E skyscraper clue, because we could still do low, low, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So I think the quad there is still necessary to say that E is low. But now, right, now this cage has a small total. So this one definitely doesn't have a 9 in it, which means this one does have a 9 in it. And it is not with a 6. Hey, Nell, how are you doing? So this is a 9, an 8, or a 7. And we know there's an H in here if we're talking about like weird things that people will be able to corner mark when they solve this in Sudoku pad. But we can't corner mark. I guess that means there's definitely a 6 in this cage, though. That's maybe worth noting. Right, and so either H is 6, or H is 7, and then this is a 6, 7 cage. Okay, so yeah, we've got a bunch of sort of weird corner marks. We've got an E in this column. We've got an H in this cage. Okay. Okay, so the 9 in this column, by virtue of the fact that this is an E skyscraper, is in one of this collection of cells. It would be nice if we could push the 9 out of row 3, column 3 somehow. For purposes of this. And I don't know much about F and G. Yeah, this is the perfectly natural alphabet. I don't know what you're talking about to say that your ABCs don't end in Z. Because there's an S afterwards, it's a skyscraper, yes. If it's an N afterwards, it's going to be numbered rooms, is I think what we're, I think where life is going, but I don't promise that's where life is going. An H numbered rooms clue here now would definitely be 8 or 9. Oh, you can't use Z's in Sudoku Pad on mobile? Oh, that's unfortunate. It still blows my mind that people use Sudoku Pad on mobile. Okay, so we've got an E over here somewhere. Yes, the letters and cells are just those are the letters, or those are that digit. Yeah, that in an actual version Playmaker, it will either be that or it'll have like a hotel emoji behind it or something. Yeah, I guess those people have to agree that I am Z. Let's see. So now H is 6 or 7. I wonder if there's a way to feed into that using something. Yeah, I mean, if ever there is a puzzle where I'm willing to get weird with it, this is definitely a puzzle where I'm willing to get weird with it. And let it be what it is. I'm trying to figure out some clue type that would get coverage on these cells, and let it be interesting that there's an E in them. But I don't think I can. I wonder if there's like some. I could draw some sort of killer cage through all of these cells. But I can't think of something like that. Yeah, like a little killer is quite challenging to get through here, but I could probably do like through those two or something. It's hard to get coverage. Let's just try, and now I'm gonna have to. I have 80,000 cosmetic symbols in here. There we go. We'll try putting our E numbered rooms clue here. And actually, there's a slightly interesting thing about that, which is that we know one of these is E, but it's not this one, because this is F or G. So actually, this E numbered rooms clue is actually a 4 or a 6, which is potentially useful for something. So what do we do with this 4-6? And can we somehow use it in some convoluted way to say that E and H are not a 4-6 pair? Let's see. I bet we can in some convoluted, ridiculous way. Although that might be saying too much too soon. Maybe we should try and work with other letters. I guess if I put an H quadruple down here, it would say that. Right? Because if I uh, uh, and would get me at least a little bit of traction. Maybe that is worth. It has a sort of nice aesthetic to it, I suppose. Uh, uh, of course, if this is 4, it makes E3 is probably worth noting. There's a lot of 7, 8, 9s in these cells. Also, uh, hmm. But that being a 4, 6 feels, almost useful, like they say. Uh, 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 it would be nice if we also did something with C and D, perhaps, or like something with some other letters, just to commence like spreading information out. Although I like that sort of this is it's very natural through here the steps we have to chase E and H. Yeah, an E numbered room here would definitely be 4 or 6. Yeah. I probably don't want to clue this row or this column. If I can avoid it. Uh, now I am very interested in the whole, if I put an H numbered rooms clue here, I know that one of these two is H. And that's interesting. And has an interesting connection where it makes it so that there's this weird connection where if this is 8, suddenly it makes E be 3. Uh, uh, but maybe I don't want to chase that too much. So yeah, one of these two is E. Can I draw some sorts of clues through these cells, like some sort of cages or whatever? Obviously, I'm more than happy to add additional cages to this. 4, 6 being one of the ways to make 10 is really tempting to play with, but I don't have an instant idea of what to do with it. So I don't have a like pair of cells that definitely add to 10 over here to play with, I don't think. And I guess I know that like these cells are a little bit restricted in that they're, of course, not E, F, G, H, or Z. So, like, I know what these are in terms of, as a set of 4 letters, they're A, B, C, and D. So 2 of these are lowish. for whatever that is worth. That's like something. It's a very small something, but it's something. I say anything about an 8? If I have an H skyscraper clue over here, does it tell me something about what this can be? I don't think so. Not quite, at least. Might as well fill in, by the way, that these cells are from 3, 4, 6, 7, because these are E and H. Yeah, I suppose I could use colors to try and communicate things like I know that's a Z. FN clue in row 6. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is worth asking what I know about F and G. Given that if I make these as a pair green, those are also green. So these numbers, one of them's at least big. I know from over here, like one of them's at least 6. Oh, and I guess the other is not at least 6, right? So because the other one goes here, right? That these two are, if I make that pair red, that's the reds for the row. If you force row 6, column 3 to be even, then row 9, column 3 can't be 4. That's interesting. Yeah, because if this was a 4, oh wait, sorry, my green there was wrong. Let me be more careful. These are green. And if these are orange, then these are orange. And it's the E that's in one of these two, and the high is in one of the cages. Okay, C, D, and F are the only ones that can be 9. That's, yeah, 8 and 9 are actually somewhat restricted in terms of where they can possibly go. Do you know that E isn't 9? Or sorry, do you know that Z isn't 9? Yeah, it is nice to know that G isn't 9 is a fun thing. So yeah, using that G isn't 9, what we could do is we can put a 3-cell little killer clue that'll force a 1 somewhere. Is potentially interesting. Because now that G isn't 9, a 3-cell G sum would have to have a 1 in it. Where do I want a 3-cell G little killer? From row 7, column 1, so like down that diagonal. That would resolve this, but that doesn't really let me take advantage of the corner marked 1. I could say Z isn't 1, and that's kind of interesting. G isn't 9 because there's a 9 in this cage that's looking over at G. Now, there is this slight problem that you can't readily make a little killer in Sudoku Maker that has a textual value. But we can sort of fake it. That was too small, wasn't it? Was that our size? No, that's a Sudoku Maker claims that's the same size text as this. But I'm not sure I believe it, but we'll go with it, I suppose. Okay, so Z not 1. And G is 6, 7, 8, 9, which because F, so that in fact makes this F and that G. Is this just an optical illusion? It very well could just be an optical illusion. So yeah, that's where G goes. This is F. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now within this row. So yeah, so at least one of these is big, if not both. I worry slightly that this is going to be a little bit distracting because but I don't think it's that bad that someone might first say, so G is at least 6. I think it's probably okay to play with that. It is called the Zodiac series, and as far as I'm concerned, the only thing that's associated with Zodiac is murders and a very complicated cipher. We already forgot that G isn't 9. Thank you. My head is above averagely scattered today. Yeah, so G is not 9. So G is 6, 7, or 8. So now the 9 in this row is... Oh, sorry, this isn't 9 either. So now 9 is actually locked into Z, C, and D. So this cell definitely isn't a 9. That's useful, actually. That's useful. Because I can go back to my H numbered rooms clue here. Oh, right. I can't do it as a numbered rooms clue. I have to do it as a text clue. Size 45, please. Size 45, thank you. Because now we said before this was an 8 or a 9, but now it sees every 9 that could be in any letter, right? So now it's an 8. And I think that's going to resolve a lot in an, I think, satisfying way. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Do people agree that that is fair? That is an 8. So this is my H, but in particular, these are 6, 7, which makes E3 and H7. And so this H is a 7, that's a 6. These are 8, 9. Does that seem fair? Okay, so that makes this digit not 8. Going backwards, which makes that not an 8, because these are the same digit. We have a virtual 6-7 pair. Across these. Oh, in fact, actually, sorry, these are 3-7 now. Let me just even make that easier. These are 3-7. So this is actually now a 6. Which then makes these 1, 2, 3, right? So actually, that's quite a potent interaction of all of these. Oh no, 8 is broken. Oh no. No, it's broken. It's so sad. How dare you, Sudoku? How dare you do this to me? I was so happy with that. Sudoku. Was so well set up too. Tisk tisk tisk. Why was this not able to be 9? Because it sees all 3 letters that can be 9. Row 4, column 9 was never an 8. Do we somehow know? It's because the 8 in this row is also locked into these cells, right? So this cell can't be 8 or 9. Yeah, so we can actually sort of like extend this logic to say that this cell's neither 8 nor 9. Which I would love to use by means of a let's see. Is there some other letter I can use with the numbered rooms clue to say that that letter isn't in here and have that be useful? Yeah, the Z down there being like one of the places that 8 can go is very nice. So like this cell can't be 8 or 9. So it is very clearly pencilable, markable as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not 6 either. So that's even better. HN. Okay, so we isn't that though exactly what we just had that broke? I think that's exactly what we had that broke because we know one of these two is H. Which is very sad. Very, very sad because it's exactly what I wanted. And then everything worked until it turned out that then it doesn't work. And then it was tragic. Not 8, 9, or 6. Agree. You flip upside down the setup? Well, no, flipping this upside down doesn't work because the whole reason this worked is because this wasn't 9. And so if I flip upside down everything, I don't think that works. Only clues with letters. Yes, all clues should have letters. That is, I think, an aesthetically important element here. This is for Zodiac, right? CN or DN, it becomes 4 or 7. I don't know who I am nominating afterwards. That is a great question, and one I do not know the answer to yet. Uh, HN breaks through the fact that I know there's an H in this cage because H is 6 or 7 and H is not going in this cage. So H is definitely in this cage, but this cell can't be 8 or 9. So an HN doesn't work. Uh, 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 yeah, somehow meaning that the corner mark right's right on top of the cage total. Yeah, how did we even decide that corner mark should go in the top left? When I do it by hand, I always make my corner marks in the top right. But yeah, you're right. This is a GH cage. That is a good point to note. Uh, could I do a numbered rooms G clue here? No, because the numbered rooms G clue doesn't work either. Yeah, this is a G and an H. We know Z isn't 1. So the 1 in the row is also somewhat restricted. Is that how Penpa does it? No, some software I've used, maybe it's the New York Times one or something, has everything in its own corner mark. Yeah, it might be worth giving each letter its own color to mark that, because these I actually now can disentangle, and so those are Fs, and so let's see, this maybe I need to ungreen these for now and just mark that this is green yellow. Sorry, not green yellow, green blue, because it is GH that live up there. Yeah, this cell can't be 8 or 9 is a very cool deduction, but I cannot figure out how to use it. Uh, 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 1 second. I'm gonna be right back. All right, I am back. Two-digit X sums, right hand on right. This, like, is there some sort of like trying to decide if there's a killer cage combination I could make that would use that this isn't 8-9? Probably will use abuse most of the right outside clue types at least. I don't really like the ones that can be 2 digits quite so much, but we'll fake it. Uh, uh, what is hidden skyscraper, dare I ask? We do still have this slightly horrible thing going on over here where we have this skyscraper clue that's going to be 3 or 4. The first hidden skyscrapers closest to the clue. Oh, are you just saying like this digit is the skyscraper clue for the rest of the row? Is that what hidden skyscraper means? Oh, the first digit you don't see as you look from that direction. So yeah, the first number that you don't see. So you can't have a 9, I guess. But you could have an empty set if you wanted. Although probably you would not want to have an empty set. I wonder if there's some sort of killer cage here that is useful. Because, like, if I drew, like, a killer cage through these 3 cells, for instance, it definitely doesn't have a 9 in it. So if it had to have an 8 in it, that would dictate that blue wasn't 8. But it's a little bit difficult to decide exactly what total would be useful. I'm just really attached to this not being 8 or 9 being interesting. See, Josh asks if this is 7, what letter is it? And that's a good point. It's not any letter if it's 7, I suppose. Because if this is 7, the problem being the answer I kind of want it to be is I want it to be H, but it can't be H because this cell sees H. So I guess the question really is, where does this digit go in this row? It could be E. But it can't be yellow. It can't be H. And it could be one of these two. Yeah, so it's A, B, or E only. which is very interesting. So yeah, so it's definitely 1 to 5, although that's tricky. Uh, uh, yeah, maybe the 8-9 deduction is not worth chasing if it's going to turn out that you could do it in this way. Uh, okay, so what else can we do with the information that we have at our disposal? Uh, it is a very disjoint set moment. Yeah. I mean, I'd be perfectly happy with the. I mean, I'll just mark this number can't be 7. I'd be perfectly happy with it because it's sort of it's the same exact reasoning that got us that this cell wasn't 8 or 9. That really gets you at this. And it's a perfectly reasonable thing to do if you can center mark letters, which the people who are solving the puzzle will be able to do. Uh, uh, I was debating if I could do like a center mark A B kind of quadruple to somehow like dictate that this isn't A or B, but I don't think so. Now, if I make this a CN, then C has to be exactly here. That's kind of a nice payoff. I like that, Luna. That's a good idea. Let's do CN. Uh, uh, and so now this needs to be a 4 because we know that's not a C. And so the interesting deduction is that that's not a C. Because it would require that to be a 7, which it can't be because it definitely sees the 7. So that makes that a 4, which means that these are both C. We can give that a color, like a pink, perhaps. Which then, yeah, I don't think I know whether C is 7, 8, or 9, unfortunately. But that is at least a 4, which means that's not a 4. I don't think I know things like, is this an E or not? So it resolves in that this number is a 4. Yeah, F's also not 4. So now the 4 is sort of broken into one of these cells. Do I know that E can't be 4 anymore? Why can't E be 4? I don't think this cell sees E, does it? Because of the column 3 EN. Yes. So right. Okay, that's very clever. Great spotting to the two of you. Right. This cell is now telling you that that the E is in one of these two cells. And of course this cell is not 4. And if this cell's 4, then the numbered room clue for E isn't 4. So E is in fact 3. So that comes back and gives us that E is 3 and H is 7. Which comes back and makes this a 6, 7, that an 8, 9. These are a 3, 7. That is very good spotting, and in line with the sort of craziness that I'm anticipating. This isn't an 8 anymore because, in fact, it's just a 6. Yeah, I hope this does not break. There's my Z. Okay, so this isn't a 3, and these aren't 3. Okay. Yeah, let's hope this does not break. Hold the baby, as they say. C in row 6, right? Do I know that C is or isn't 8 or 9? I'm not sure I know if C is 8 or 9 or not. Uh, but 4 in row 5 is actually useful. Because 4 in row 4, now we know it doesn't go there because of silly disjoint killer things. So the 4 is actually over here. So actually that's not a 4. That's actually a second proof that E isn't 4. Is that 4 in this row is placed. I guess it's not because we needed that E wasn't 4 to do that. Never mind. G. Yeah, G is 6. We have that. Right. The little killer clue now we're back to now this is just a 1 2 3. So this Z here now is not 1 2 3 4. It could be 5. Not 6, not 7. So it could be 5, 8, or 9. I think is correct. Okay, so this is a 3 skyscraper now. I should probably corner mark my 3 up here. So I can think about that a little bit. Okay. D, I know almost nothing about. There's my G of 6. Okay, I really like that flow. GN at the right of row 9. Certainly makes Z 8 or 9. Let's see. Laura says D is from 1 to 5. I agree all of those are possible. Do I know that D isn't 8 or 9? It looks to me like D could be 8 or 9. But maybe it can't be for a reason I don't see. I do agree that a numbered rooms clue here will rule 5 out of this and make one of these be 8, 9. I think I like that. GN. Which size? 45, please. G. Oops, capital G, please. N. Thank you. So that does make one of these to be G, which makes one of these be G. which is a 6. So, yes, it resolves this too, right? Because G is 6, right? So that was very clever from AFK. So yeah, so this is now a 4. So one of these two is a 6, which makes one of these 3 up here a 6. It makes that an E. So it's a 3 in particular. Yeah, we're sort of at that point where we had a vertical 3 in this box, and I didn't even notice, but I guess it wasn't. Oh, I guess I knew we had a doing that. Uh, makes C an 8 or 9. Are we sure that D isn't the other 8 or 9? C in row 6. Oh, right. C in row 6 is over here. Right. C is an 8, 9. Right. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, the box 4 thing, that's very nice. The disjoint set really does a lot of work, doesn't it? This puzzle's going to be freaking impossible. But my understanding is that's what the series is looking for. Yes, this needs to be a letter, and the only letter it can be is D. Or I guess alternatively, you could phrase that same thing as where does D go in box this one? And the answer is D only goes there in box this one. So we can go ahead and mark D there. You were right, it turns out. Yeah. Uh, I know one of A and B is 4. We can probably disentangle which is which with some sort of clue. I do have to be a little bit careful with how this column gets filled in because I might accidentally break this skyscraper clue if I'm not careful. It is very much within my thing. Yeah, I did like your suggestion a lot, AFK. Uh, uh, could just put an AB quadruple across these 4 cells and have it be silly. Oh, I guess, sorry, no, that doesn't actually work. It would have to be across. Never mind. I thought I was being clever, but it doesn't work. I do know one of these two is 4, I suppose is worth mentioning. Let's see. Is there 1, 2, 5, and 4, right? Yeah, there's definitely a 3 in here and a Z in here. So these are from 3, 8, 9. Which means that this is the other 1, 2, 5, right? This is the this is the A or B 1, 2, 5, aka the one of A and B that's not 4. And these are just 1, 2, 4, 5 if I want to try to utilize that. Let's see. We should probably use another skyscraper clue at some point, or just say screw it and use a full rank clue. I'm sorry to have gotten your hopes up like that. We're not doing full rank. Let's see. Yeah, one of these is yellow. Yeah, the it keeps being the case that because of the disjoint set, like one clue does like so much somehow. Okay. We could probably find a way to squeeze in another killer cage somewhere. As well. It's interesting. A skyscraper here is kind of constrained. AN or BN up here does tell you which one is 4. That's true. This 4 has proved pivotal in the construction of the puzzle. The N can't clue N kind of deduction. Yeah, that is always a fun classic numbered rooms business. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that, at least to try it. We'll see if it breaks. That's a circle. That's not what I want. Why did I put 45 up there? I don't know. How about A, N? Oops. N, please. Nope. Can I have an N? No, don't wait for the print. No. Why are you printing anything? There we go. Did I break anything while I was doing that? Somehow it was like, please wait for the printer to warm up. And I was like, that is not what I want. Okay, so if I make that an AN, notably now A can't be 4 because we need that to be a 4. So now it's B that's 4. A is now 1, 2, 5. And now, do I know anything about where the A actually is in this column? Other than that, it's not in the 4th spot. It's certainly not 5. I agree with that. It's not 4. It's not 5. 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's not 9 either. Yeah, we definitely need more skyscraper clues, more quadruples, more little killer clues as the world collapses. Now, interestingly, if this is an 8, it makes that a 5 because of this 1, 2, 3 business down here, which seems worth contemplating. Row 4, column 4 is A, right. We can mark that off. We'll give it a color like that darker blue. Let's see. Can we play with this into like this 1 2 3 triple here seems quite interesting because of some of the things I know about the letters, but and I'm not above putting an E quadruple here to place that as a 3 so that this is a 1 2 so that we know that it's one of orange and blue if need be, but unfortunately that doesn't quite resolve this because of this being able to be a 7. Still. And we know I've got an A over down here somewhere. Let's see. I can use the fact that if I use some sort of little killer here that's 2 digits, I can rule a number off of this diagonal by just making a little killer clue that ends in that number because of the fact that the 6 is over here. So, like, if I wanted to rule 7 out of these 2 cells or something, I could do that by making a question mark 7 clue over here, which would be funny. Was looking at like a little killer of length 4 down this line to see if we could do anything interesting. I'm not confident that we can. Yeah, a lot of numbers in box 9 have only a handful of places. Like the 6 can only go in one of these 3. The 4 can only go in one of these 3. The whatever this letter is, the C can only go in one of these 3. I could make this number smaller just by putting a skyscraper clue over here of some sort. Yeah, I was actually just looking at some sort of skyscraper over here. AS makes A not 5. AS. Okay, so yes, we have to think carefully about this. So A certainly makes A not 1, right? Oh, to the left of row 9. I see. Okay. Sorry. AS to the left of row 9. AS. The other row 9. I see. How about the other row 9? Well, we've mixed up left and right and row 1 and row 9, so we're off to a good start. Okay, so an AS over here certainly makes a maximum of 5 if we saw the 6, 7, 8, and 9 and whatever this digit was. However, that's not possible because of where the 7 is in this row. So the 7 is the problem, which is that the 7 is either here, in which case I've got an 8 or a 9 over here, or the 7 is over here, in which case then I've seen at most 4. So I do agree that makes A not 5. Let's see. Does making A not 5 help? It's funny. This cell is exactly an A if A is... but that does mean one of these two cells is a 5. I'm not sure how instantly useful that is. Right. And so now this is a 1 or a 2 skyscraper. A 1 skyscraper means this digit is a 9. And even in a 2 skyscraper, this digit still can't be well, this digit certainly can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. This digit certainly always a 6, 7, 8, or a 9 in all cases. Which is interesting. Automatically. And if Z is a 9, then this has to be an 8, right? Yeah, so as soon as Z is 9, that digit is an 8. Okay, so yeah, so that's very nice. Z numbered rooms. I was just looking at that actually. The same thing of like, okay, so that makes that not an 8, 9, which makes that a Z, which makes this cell. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, I see. I hadn't thought what it did enough, but I see now what it does, and that's very cool. So if this is a ZN, then it's not, it tells me this cell, this 8, 9 is not yellow. So it is in fact, whatever shade of pink that was. Was that like that shade of pink, I think? Which makes that yellow. And now this sees an 8, 9 pair, which is very nice. And so now, now A had better be 2. So those aren't 2. And also this digit had better be a 9, right? Because if this digit isn't a 9, oh, I guess that's not necessarily true, right? This doesn't have to be a 9, but I have to see the 9 before the 8, is what this is saying. But this can't be a 6 either, actually. Sorry, this can't be a 6 anymore because that's certainly not Z. So this is a 7, which makes that be a Z. So that's an 8, 9, which makes this a 6 and that a 7, which makes this not blue and that not green if we're going to keep up the coloring. And now, yeah, now Z certainly is not 9 because if it was, this clue would certainly be a 3. So Z is now 8. I agree with that. Which makes C 9. Other way around? Oh, I mismatched my coloring. Oops. This is blue and that is green. Okay, so one of those is an 8. We do have to be very careful about this 3 skyscraper clue. This is a 6 because of the 6 corner mark that we had there previously. Okay, I think all of these resolved colors, I can lose their color. Oops, that's the wrong shade of blue. Oh, this is an 8, by the way. Okay, so 7 is up here. So yeah, if there's a 9 down here, there's a lot of possibilities. If the 9 is not in exactly one of these 2 cells, then these need to be 6, 7, 9 in that exact order. Okay, so now that A is 2, I know that this cell is not 1 or 2. I should keep in mind all of my clues that previously have mentioned A. And it's not an 8 either, because the 2 is in this triple. 4 in column 1 is up here. Agree. That's a Z. I'm just going through and making sure that we don't have any, like, latent clues that we need to worry about. G was a 6. That's a C. This is a naked single, I'm being told. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Wow, it is. So this is uniquely a 5. Oh, this isn't a 2 either, because the 2 in this box now is in one of these 2 cells. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. That was a lie. The 2 in this box has been placed. So yes, there's a 2 over here. It could very well be there. Sudoku Pad tells me there's no solution with the filled in values. That's not good. Why does it think that? And do I have something filled in that's wrong somehow? Sorry, Sudoku Maker, I meant. If I click the light bulb, just says there's no solutions to this grid. Can we see why that is the case? Is it because there's no value for this cell? If that's true, I don't see why. Sudoku Maker knows about my center marks. So it's claiming based on my center marks that this has no solution. But it's possible that somehow it thinks it knows something that it doesn't actually know. Oh, I know why. It's this little killer clue. That's why. Because I had to put in an actual little killer clue, but at the time I put it in, I didn't know what number it was. So I bet if I fill this in and say it's a 6, I bet now it will hopefully we'll say that there's solutions. Thank God. Okay, yeah. In order, this was a like making Sudoku Maker understand things about things is hard moment. Uh, okay, good. Uh, okay, so there's a 9 down here, I guess, is the subtext of all of that. Yeah, there are plenty of solutions. It is owing to the fact that I had to write an invisible total for this little killer thing, and I had forgotten about it. That is why it was not working. Okay, so we now know there's only 2 places for 7 over here, for what it's worth. We haven't used a killer cage in a while. Oh yeah, 9 is in one of these 2. Yeah, one of those is a 2. Now to add anti-king. Yeah, now if now we can resolve this with a neat little anti-king bit. Uh, uh, let's see. Can I do anything? Okay, I guess I can just fill in what these can be, because they can 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Except these can't be 7. That one can't be 4. These 2 can't be 6. Uh, yeah, unfortunately, there's a little flexibility of this 9, but I'm very worried about this skyscraper breaking. Uh, uh, okay, that still has solutions. Okay. Uh, oh, box 9 has a 5. That's good. So in fact, this digit's only a 4 or a 9. I could just use a quadruple to fix all of this. With anti-king, there are 3 solutions. Uh, uh, let's see. Is there an interesting quadruple that I can put in somewhere? I know one of these 2 is D. Uh, What is 6 plus 7 plus 9? 6 plus 7 plus 9 is 23? I could put a killer cage here that ends in E, and it would say the 9's actually down there. Oh, it's 22, apparently. top scientists are debating the value of a killer cage up there. Yeah, so the two dangling clues are these two. Now, one way I think I could make this work is if I put an an also here, I think it resolves it. No, it just breaks, I think, if I do that. Oh, no, it doesn't. It works. Okay, so I think if I also put, I don't know if this is going to be a good clue or a bad clue. If I also put an AN here, it's probably too heavy-handed. It would make it 7, and that would resolve basically this whole column, but it looks a little too noisy, I think, to have two of the same numbered rooms clue there. With that clue or without that clue, Isaac? It's like looking at like a 3-cell killer cage here or something. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Luna. The something with a quadruple. Oh, Isaiah. Sorry, Isaiah. No, I think you're right, AFK. Uh, uh, it agrees with all the letters in the screen name. In fact, better than Isaiah does. I was noticing that, like, if I put a 3-cell cage here that has a total ending in H, then I think that makes the one option go away. If this is a 1, it's an F. Or 4 up here. If neither of those were a 3, these would be a 3-4 pair, and these would be a 3-4 pair. Origin of my setter name. Excellent, excellent. Okay, do I know anything? I don't really know anything about these. I'm trying to debate like a little killer through these 3 cells or something. Or how about a little killer through this diagonal? Uh, I'm sure there's a total where it would just be unique if I just wrote the right little killer through this diagonal. Why don't I just ask the solver what that one is and then just put it in? I'm a little afraid that that will have resolved what 1 is way earlier in the puzzle if we have that there, because you'll know from quite early that this number can't possibly be a 9, so it will rule 1 out of something from right away. And that might also do this. Like we already did the like this number can't be 1 because of a thing once. I'm a little worried that someone would look at the grid and instantly be able to conclude which one was 1 if we put in something like that. Now, can we force it to be a self-indexing numbered rooms clue? That we might be able to do, and make it work. Along the edge of column 1 somewhere. Then, yeah, that is possible. Where, like, we've only see, J40 suggests CN at the right of row 8. So C, sorry, DN. To the left. I did very good. So this number here, if I look at it, it could, I think, in theory, be 1. Can't be 2. Can't be 3 because one of these is D. Could be 4, except there's a 4 in the box. 5, if it goes there, although that doesn't actually work for reasons I'll go over in a second. Can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this is 1 or 5. Except this being 1 or 5, 5 doesn't actually work, right? Because if this is a 5, then... Oh, no, I think 5 does work. I don't think it actually ends up clashing either way. Oh, but D is always 1, right? Because this number is 1 or 5, and whether this number is 1 or 5, it means D is 1. Right. Okay, yes, that is cute. So, right, because this is either a 1, in which case D is a 1, or this is a 5, in which case D is a 1. Yeah, okay, so that does do it. To say that D is 1, which makes F 5. That is cute, I agree. So that gets rid of our colors. And that does mean this digit definitely isn't 1. And that's not 1 because of the D. So now that is 1. Which now makes this a triple. 2, 3, 5. So this is now a 2. No, 235 was not correct. Let's try again. 239 is what's actually left. That one's not a 9. This one's not a 3. That one's not a 2. So we get our beautiful teapot-esque triple. I suppose I should probably fill in the rest of this column just for my own personal sanity. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that one's not a 9, we know. Or a 2, because that's a 2, 3, 9. So this is a 1 or a 4 only. That did not, I think, improve this, right? Oh, no, it did improve this, because Luna, as Luna points out, because if this is a 3, it makes that a 2, which makes this a nothing. Good. So now this is a 6 or a 7. Good. So one of these two is a 2. I don't know which one yet. Could technically use a quadruple here to sort that out. Oh, these are 3, 8. So these are, just to fill it in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's too many. No 3, 2, 5, 7. If I had a quadruple here with a 2 on it, it would sort out what this was, which I might like. So 2 is what letter? 2 is A. Would a quadruple with an A on it across these cells have done anything catastrophic earlier? We'd have known one of these was an A in any case. Yeah, this cell can't be a 7 for sure, as Jay points out, because of that would break this, because a 7 there would say that the 2 is supposed to be in the 6th spot by weird indexing trickery. So one of these two is a 7. Column 8 has a 5, has been called. I agree. I really feel like that would be the easiest feature to implement for all the ridiculous stuff that's implemented in Sudoku Maker. The fact that it won't candidate check your center marks for you feels very weird to me. Let's see. Nine looks down to there for some minor cleanup, as is noted. The cipher is done, and the puzzle I think is pretty close to done. Given we have a couple clues that aren't quite resolved yet, I think this is going to collapse rather quickly once we do this. Technically, this claims that we've got 10,000 solutions, but that's overdoing it. Row 6, column 8 is a 2. That forces row 1, column 9 to be a 7. the other row 6, column 8. Breaking 7 in column 8. Oh, that's horrendous. So 7 in column 8 has 4 places. But if I make this a 2, what Isaiah is pointing out is that it does ruin all of those possible places. It's like a very weird skyscraper. I'd rather not use that, but it does mean that in all worlds, this cell works out to be a 7. Which I think doesn't really help very much, but it's of note. The A quad. Where was I talking about the A quad? I did want to have an A quad somewhere. What is A? A is 2. Yeah, I was talking about an A quad in here. Let's try that. See how it looks. Okay, that's the symbols. There we go. There is the quad. Here is the appropriate text size. Yeah, there we go. So now we know one of these two is a 2, which makes that a 5, which has the bonus of making that a 7 and that a 2. And now the 7 in this column is just placed because now that's a 7, which makes that a 2. And that a 7. Yeah, the good thing to know about that then we can sort of work around a little bit. Okay, I think that worked. Okay, so this is a 3 now, which makes that an 8 and that a 3. That, oh no, the 9 doesn't look down usefully. 3 in column 9 is now here. This is the other 6, 9 within this column. Okay, so now this is done. We still know that if this is, remember, a numbered room's 3. Oh yeah, that rules 3 out of these. So now one of these two is a 3. So if the 9 is up here, this has to go 6, 7, 9, which unfortunately did not get ruled out by that. But it is that. And that is our only remaining. Oh, sorry. There's also that if this is a 5, this is a 1. That's the other remaining piece of clue enforcement that we have to make sure we do, I think. Is it more restricted than this? I thought I did that. Yeah, one of these is a 4. So the 4 is across these cells. Okay. I like the use of this A quad. We got this 3 very out of nowhere. We could certainly reward that 3. I'm probably inclined to try something with like a killer cage or something. Still trying to see if there's some way I can rule out the 679 world. I could also rule in the 679 world for all I care, but Sudoku Maker says row 7, column 8 isn't 4. Dear God, why? I wonder if it's because I know something like I know this digit isn't 9 or something. I'm not claiming I know for sure this number isn't 9. I think I do know for sure this number isn't 9, actually. That's what... I bet that's why. If this number is 9, the skyscraper is too big. So that number is not 9. So one of these two cells is 9. And so I think what that means is this being a 6 breaks both of those places for 9. I'm not, by the way, advocating that we use this as a step, but that's why I think why it doesn't work. Uh, can 7 just not be before 6 for the skyscraper? I'm not sure. Mark column 3? I mean, it's very reasonable to do at this point, I suppose. 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know that these aren't 6, 7. I know that those aren't 8. That one's not 2, actually. This one's just an 8 or a 9 only. That one's not 7. I mean, these are never 9 by the skyscraper. So, like, that's where I want the 2 to be, right? Is there just some way I can just mark this to say these aren't an 8-9 pair? Like some 4-cell killer cage or something? Yeah, if this is a 2, then this has to go 2, 7, 6, and then 9, 8, and for some reason that's broken. Yeah, now this, I guess, now this pretty clearly isn't a 9, because we definitely see this cell, we see the 7, So if this is the 9, we see everything. Yeah, this definitely isn't a 9. I agree, is easier to prove, although I don't know that that gets us anywhere. We're still sort of back to one of these two as a 9. Oh, bye, Elisf. Hope you have a good day. I hope life calms down so that you can make fewer quilts? Question mark? Question mark? Uh, uh, Oh, it does the same weird connection between the 6s and 9s. Yeah, I'm definitely not using that. But I acknowledge that, yeah, there's this sort of weird entanglement of these things that is going through column 9. Uh, uh, but I think we can probably clean this up. Is it possible I know that these two cells can't sum to 10 if I try and do something like that? Because these two cells, I think annoyingly they might be able to be 4, 6. They certainly can't be 3, 7, 2, 8. Annoyingly, they might also be able to be 1, 9. I'm just trying to look for like a 4-cell killer cage or something that will say, because if this cell isn't a 9, uh, oh wait, you're saying, are we saying this has to be a 2? Maybe this does have to be I don't know. But I would like to just force this in some clever way that requires you to basically have solved everything else. Uh, your sleeping run. Oh, I'm now picturing you trying to sleep while running at the same time, which is, I think, probably not what you meant, but is now the canonical thing that is happening in my head. Let's see. I'm trying to decide, like, is there some like really weird way I can draw this cage where it sort of like sees the two in some bizarro world, but I don't think so. Uh, uh, okay, so what I could do is I could make this total to something ending in 3, and use the fact that we eventually learned the 3 is down here, but that was quite recent, uh, I believe. Uh, and so I think we could make this a cage, or Z even, uh, uh, because we also learned that 9 was down there recently. Actually, question mark Z is too large, isn't it? Question mark, oops. Uh, question mark E is better. Oops. Uh, this might be broken. Someone who has a solver open can tell me whether this is broken or not. But it certainly tells me that this isn't a 2, which will resolve a bunch of what's going on here. It does not at all surprise me that that was actually a skyscraper on 9s. Does someone want to tell me if this is possible? This is just a 13 cage, basically. But that can't be a 2 anymore. So this would force 8 and 9 down here. So this is now actually summing to 23. So that's a 6 in this world if this works. Puzzle is impossible. Okay, this probably doesn't work, is what this is telling me. It is broken. Okay. Oh, right. 6, 9 running across just makes a quadruple in 3 numbers. That's an easier way to see it. Uh, does that mean I can make it work if I just do it the other direction? What about this? Does that work? Someone with a solver? This now, again, the whole point of this is this can't be 2 because it would then make this sum to something it can't. So that's an 8, and that's a 9, and that's a 6, which makes this go 9, 4, 6. Also, it's nice that this now actually sums to 23. Does this at least think there's a solution? It at least thinks there's a solution. But it doesn't know everything that I know. Of course. Okay, so that's now a 6. So now that is not a 6. So this being a 2 no longer works. Because the second this digit is a 2, then we run down this column as 2, 6, 7, 9, and that's a 4. So this now has to be a 6. Oh, this is not a 9, of course. I don't think it matters what order this 2, 7 goes in anymore. But I think that works, and I think now the skyscraper is correct no matter what, right? I think now all of our clues are correct no matter what, so I think there's no longer any clues in the puzzle. And it has 87 solutions. So that seems a positive. Let's see. Are there any green digits in the grid? Can I just draw one ridiculous killer cage and fill in everything from here? That's or a little killer would be fine. Little killer would also be fine. Let's see. What are these digits? Maybe I should fill in these triples now. These are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are 1, 2, and 4. These are 5, 8, and 9. That one's not an 8 at the very least. What about these digits? These are 1, 2, 5, and the other one, 3. That one's not a 3. That one's not a 2. This one's never a 1 because of this this thing. So have to remember that clue actually is doing something slightly. Let's see. This is now a 1, 2, 4, 5, but it's not actually a 1 and it's not actually a 2. This is only a 4 or a 5, right? Oh, there's one more 6 in the grid, I am being told. Yeah, it goes there. 2 in row 8. Oh, yeah, 2 in row 8's actually placed. Good spotting. So that's not a 2. I guess it also saw a 2 in the row. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there's an 8. Oh, but they're not a 3, right? Because the 3 in the row is over here. So these are just from 1, 5, 8. I might be able to just finish this with a 4-cell cage over here if I am willing to say like what the total has to be. If I were doing this by myself, I would just make a version of this in Sudoku Maker that had all the actual clues in it now and just play around with it until something worked. But that seems like it would not make for the best viewing experience. Okay. Should I write in all of these as well? Kind of like the idea of a killer cage over here, summing to something. Trying to decide if I could even use a killer cage where I used sudoku to do some placing of things, but I don't know if I can easily. Maybe this like 589 triple actually I could use to resolve something over down here. Let's see. So I could rule 5, 8, and 9 out of this cell. Actually, maybe I could even make a little like cage like this and then have 5 and 8 be forced over here. I wonder what that would do. Okay, so let's make a killer cage. It's going to have a total later. But these digits are therefore not going to be 5, 8, and 9. So it's going to place the 5 and the 8 down here once we have that. So I need to tell the solver that these aren't 8 and 9. Aren't 5, 8, and 9, sorry. 7, 8, or 9. Okay, so is this possible? This has 22 solutions, it tells me. So let's actually go through that. So this was all chosen so that that would have to be the 5 and that would have to be the 8. Which makes that the 1 and that the 4. Which makes that the 1 over there. That doesn't break the numbered rooms clue. Got a 3, 5 over there. That 1 looks up there and makes that the 4 and the 1. These are now looked at by a 1. One of these is definitely a 4. Now, I suppose part of it is that these aren't 4 anymore. One of these is a 9. No, one of them is a 1. Is what I know. How did it know more about these digits than I did? What did I miss? Okay, it knows something about 3. Oh, there's a 3 in the box is what it knows. Very fancy, very fancy. Okay, so the it also seems to know that row 1 has a 7. How does it know this isn't 7? Because it's somehow getting how that resolves, right? No, it's not getting how that resolves. Oh, it's not even. It doesn't even know that this isn't a 7. Sorry. So I probably should make it the total that makes this a 7, right? Or one of the totals that makes this a 7. 5, 8, 9 is 22. Plus 7 is 29. So I can make this sum to something ending in 1 if I make that a 2. So something ending in 1 would be a question mark D cage. Let me double check that works. So 5, 8, and 9. No 7. No to what? So 5, 8, and 9. I'm just double checking that this is really totaling to 31. 5, 8, and 9 is 22 plus 7 is 29, plus 2 is 31. Oh, I can't pick values for row 1, column 6. If I make this... So I'm trying to make this a 7 and a 2. Doesn't that work, though? Oh, there's a 4. Right. There's a 4. Ha, 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 ha. Yes. Okay, so I have to make this total... If I want to make this total, I have to make it total... to something that ends in E, if I want to make that a 7. If I make it a 4 and if I make it, what do I do what do I get if I make these a 2-4 pair? Then it is 22 plus 6 is 28. That would be a Z cage. Wonder how that does. So if I make this not a 7, how does that do in terms of resolving stuff? It resolves most things. I'm wondering if I could add a cell to this cage and make it actually have the right total. Because ideally I want it to be a total that ends in 1 or 5. So 22 plus 11 is 33. If I make this be a 2, that would be 35. So I can actually, I think, maybe, possibly, make this sum to question mark F. And maybe that works. Let me just double check that that really sums to 35. So if I want this to sum to 35, these already sum to 22. So I need these to sum to 13. Definitely won't work if this isn't a 7. So that's a 7, which makes that a 4, which makes that a 2. Does that have solutions? It has 6 solutions. That sounds good to me. So now that makes that a 1, which makes that a 4. That's a 4. I guess the only shame is that, yeah, I can't move this cage around such that it places the 3 over there, unfortunately. Anyway, that 7 makes that a 3 and a 2 and a 9 and a 3 and a 7. That 7 sorts out that 2, 7. I'm assuredly have too many numbers here because the 9 is gone. Oh, this 1 looks over here, makes that a 2 and a 1. These are meant to be from 5, 8, and 9. Are these also meant to be from 5, 8, and 9? Oh, this one's not an 8, I can tell you. These are from 5, 9, and 1. But that's not the 1. So that's the 1. This is a 3, 5, or 9. And this is a 3 or a 5. We have almost center marked every cell in the grid. This is a 5, 8, or a 9. Okay, so everything should work now. There's 6 solutions left. Do I have any green number hunters in chat? Like, does a 5 here make it unique, for example? No, a 5 here does not make it unique. Does a 9 here make it unique? Yes. Okay, so I want this to end up being a 9 would be one way. That is one of my green numbers. Oh, J40 says this just is 5? Uh-oh, in that case, if that's true, I'm missing a constraint in my notation. Uh, oh, is unique. I see, I see. So yeah, so that being a 5 would work. Or this being a 9 would work. What if this isn't a 5? If this isn't a 5, does that make it work? Oh yeah, little killer sounds very natural here. Yeah, like gigantic little killer through everything. Uh okay, so in the world where this is a 9 and everything solves, what does this actually add to? 8, 10, 20, 21, 25, 28, 36. I don't love 6 as my ending digit. Okay, what if I want a 9 on this diagonal? Then I probably have to make this a 5. No, I can't make that a 5. Apparently, it's always going to end in 6, no matter what. So, but these being 3 and 5 doesn't make it unique. Well, that's unfortunate. My big little killer is going to have to be a little less big, I think. Let's see. What about through here? Because this I can make either 5 or 9, and it will. Sorry, 9. Did 9 work? No. I can make this a 5, and that will make it unique. So what would that being a 5 be? Okay, that would be 14, 17, 24, 25. Okay, well, I can't do that. If I did that right, I would need to make that a 0. Okay, the other option was making this a 5 or a 9. I can't remember again. No, this needed to be a 9. Okay, so if I want to make that a 9, then if I look at this diagonal now, 2 and 7 is 9, 15, 24, 27, 33, 42. Okay, let's see. I'm going to look at AFKs from row 1, column 7. Down this diagonal. The only problem with that diagonal is it's going to look a little bit ugly, but I can fix that. Let's make, oops, no, not you. Go away. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what do we actually want this to total to? Oh, it's not that one even. It's the wrong place. It's that one. So I want. Oh, even a single 5 there works. So if this is a 5, let's try that total. So that's 10, 20, 29, 34, if we do it that way. This is 10, 19, 24, 32, and then I get my pick of whether I want it to be 34 or 37. Or if I make this a 9, that's 15, 20, 25, 33, 36, or 38. 38 at least lets me put another Z in the puzzle. Outside text. Is it that one? It's that one. Okay, I think that does it. Okay, let's just see what this blank grid looks like. Okay, well, it's going to look a lot more horrible if I leave it in Sudoku Maker mode. Why is it overlap? Okay, so I got to turn off row column labels. I've got to turn off dashed grid. But we get this sort of lovely mess of things. Because of the streamer layout thing, it gets cut off by the it gets cut off on the right hand side of the screen a bit, but that's not a huge concern. I think that looks pretty nice. So I think what remains is for us to make this look a little bit better. And of course, play test it. I think I want a door emoji for the numbered rooms clues to sit behind the numbered rooms. And I think I want a building emoji for the skyscraper clues. If we can find a door emoji, I can maybe set that behind it and maybe it'll look fine. Just to make the not have these numbers look quite as horrible. All right, but I'm going to take a quick break before I try and find some emojis. So I'll be back in just a minute.
Whoops. Hi, everybody. I didn't mean to do that. One sec. Where's Tillet? Be right back.
All right, welcome back. Okay, I see Laura has some very lovely emojis. Let's see if I can copy paste them. Let's see. There is the door. So go edit. Okay, so this wants to be C door. Did that somehow? Maybe I want it to be door C. That looks a little bit weird the way that it has registered. Uh, uh, unless there is a space. No, there wasn't. Okay, what about door C? That looks better, right? That looks much better. Okay, so this is door door A. Uh, uh, this is door D. Maybe this one wants to be D door. Would that look horrible if I made this one D door? This one wants to be door Z. Oh, oops, I have to go over here. This one wants to be door E. And this one wants to be door G. Okay, there's no skyscraper emoji, huh? Building emoji. That's funny. Office building emoji. Okay, there's an office building emoji at least. That I think looks probably reasonable. So it is this. This should be an E. This should be an A. Oops. That looks reasonable. How does this look in Sudoku Maker now? Sudoku pad on the left. It's slightly squished on the side. I wonder if I put a space, if it will move these over just a smidge. It seems to work. There we go. That, I think, looks better. Okay. Let me finish the rules. Oh, by the way, does anyone have a title proposal for this puzzle? Oh, I'm back in. Should be back in Sudoku Maker. It's in cages. Sum to the total given. Digits cannot repeat within cages. It's along indicated diagonals. Indicated sum may repeat along such diagonals. Ooh, I like that. So with a door are numbered rooms. The indicated digit appears a number of cells along that row into that row or column given by the first number in that row column. And skyscrapers with a building are skyscrapers. Indicate how many digits in the perspective of the clue. If digits are only seen if they are the highest digit encountered so far. Okay, we'll say something like that. If I said an adequate amount about the I guess I should specify clues in the grid labeled with a gray letter contain that digit. Other clues in the grid are standard. There we go. From A to zeta colon a zodiac puzzle. Update. Okay. I should save a link to this, by the way. Otherwise, I will. Oh, I missed quadruples, didn't I? I completely missed quadruples. I should probably mention that. Circles within the grid are quadruples. The indicated digit appears in at least one of the 4 surrounding cells. Haha. Oops, let me share this, just since we've put a lot of work into the visual, so I don't want to recreate this. I will send it to Tristan. My usual method of saving something. Tristan is playing Slay the Spire 2, which is delightful because he finally gets some time off after having had. Why am I not getting my space? Is Sudoku pad ignoring the space? Do I need to put an extra space? What if I do space, space? And here, if I do space, space. Well, that upsets me, but I'm going to decide that I'm not going to be upset by it, even though I will be mildly upset by it. Sorry, you can't actually see what I'm being upset about. Oh, sorry. I need a Sudoku pad on the left. There you go. It looks much better in Sudoku Maker, but then Sudoku Pad just goes ahead and shoves these letters against the border anyway, which is a little bit unfortunate. But what are you going to do? There's probably some JSON magic you can do. Where is microstudy when you need microstudy? That is a space after the letter. That is what I was doing, was putting a space after the letter, which is what made it look better in Sudoku Maker, but doesn't make it look better in Sudoku Pad, sadly. Okay, so let's attempt to test solve this. So first step, this letter is a Z, because that is, I think probably Sudoku Pad thinks it's being smart by truncating spaces at the end of text, and it is not in fact helping, but it's very readable even if I think it's ugly. But what are you gonna do? And these I know are an E and an H. These I know are an F and a G. Just for purposes of keeping track of that. And I now know that E and H sum to 10 because of this cage summing to something with a Z in it, which then comes over here and tells me that these are my 6, 7, 8, 9. This puzzle, by the way, is going to be a complete nightmare for someone to solve because it is not at all super clear what is happening with anything. The G, by the way, is a 6, 7, 8, 9. I can at least say that because it's the 3-cell sum over here, although I don't think it's going to be relevant for a bit. Now, looking over here at because E plus H is 10, and so these cages must sum to 30. Okay, now E and H are a little bit restricted because leading question marks can't be 0. And I did even remember to type that in the rules. So since these are 2-digit cage totals, they can't be 18 or 19. So that tells us that these are 3, 4, or sorry, 3, 7 or 2, 8. Sorry, I did that wrong again. 3, 7 or 4, 6. There we go. FG resolved in row 5. Right. Yes, that's true. Because I know that's not 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's the G. Right, this is the G. And this is the F, therefore. One of these two is E. Oh, sorry, I don't know that. Sorry, let me not say that. Okay. And we know F is 1 through 5, of course. Okay. This is an E skyscraper clue. However, because of the way this column is set up, E certainly isn't 7. Because if E were to be 7, then I would need to be able to concoct a 7 skyscraper in this column. However, I can't do that because these numbers are at most 5. So E at least isn't 7. So this isn't 3. More sneakily, E can't be 6. Because if E was 6, because of, again, the fact that these numbers are 1 through 5, I would need to have these be low 6, 7, 8, 9 down here, but that doesn't work because of the E quadruple. So E's also not 6. So E is the low one and H is the high one. Now, that means that there's not an H in this cage, so there is an H in this cage, right? So there's an H there. And E is coming down this column. Question mark H would never have an H in it, but also question mark H could have been in one of these cells until that moment, but it needs to be in this quadruple. Okay, now this sum is minimum 16, so there's no 6 in it. And in particular, there is a 9 in it, so there's no 9 over here. That 9 does look across at G, so G no longer is 9. This E is indicated by this numbered rooms clue, so that's a 4, 6. And this G diagonal now has a 1 in it, so Z isn't 1. Yeah, G is 6, 7, 8, remember? So G is over here. So this is really a GH cage, if you would like. Oh, somehow I put a 6 instead of a G. 6 looks kind of like G, I suppose. Okay, what about the C numbered rooms clue? If I look at it, I know C is not in the box with a C, so this is at least a 4. It's not a 5 here. 6 or 7. Those are all my options for the numbered rooms thing. It's not over there because it's not G or H. Does algebra resolve G and E? I thought it worked both ways. You get 2E equals G. So there's 2 options. Okay, that sounds very plausible. You're saying G is not 7. Okay, and this is now a 3 or 4 skyscraper, I suppose. For whatever that is worth. Let's see. G, agree. Okay. I meant to think more about this. Uh, yeah, there's nothing in the rules other than that the letters are all different. Let's see. Yeah, it's all the constraints have completely traditional rules. I am going to write in that I know that these are at most 5. So I think the question is, if this number is 6 or 7, where does it go in row 5? Because this number, I don't think we know that these aren't Z, do we? But this number certainly is not G, C, or D. It's also not H. It's not Z. It's not F. So this number, if I look at it, is just not 6 or 7. Right, because if this is 6 or 7, it just does not go in row 5, is the point. So this number is 4, which knocks 4 out of there. And now, if E is 4, we have a very big problem. Sorry, if this number is... Wait, what was I going to say? Right, this number is now C. Which now makes... I don't know anything about C yet, do I? I don't think I know very much about C. So C is either 7, 8, 9, or C is exactly there. But E can't be 4 anymore because neither of these numbers can be 4 while being E. Because of this numbered rooms clue. If this number is 4 and 4 is E, that's a problem. Because then that's a 4. Yes, if row 4, column 9 was 7, where was 7 going in row 5 was the question. Given that 7 is definitely, I mean, this number is not F. and H sees this number by sudoku because of the H in this cage. I think is the missing piece. So yeah, so E is not 4 because of that combination of basically 4 being ruled out of being E in either of these places. So E is 3 and H is 7, which then makes this 6, 7, and this 8, 9 for G and H. Oops. Ah! Okay, these aren't 3 anymore because of that. So one of these is, in fact, 3. I could just get rid of the E and just say one of them is 3. Right. And this 8, 9 looks at the G, so G actually is 6, which makes that 6, which makes these 1, 2, 3 over there. A, at least I see, isn't 4 because of the numbered rooms 4, 4 trick, the same one we used for the E. These numbers are now 3, 7. I can fill in. Z, if I look at it now, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. So it can be 5. It can't be 6 because G is 6. It can't be 7 because H is 7, and it can be 8 or 9. But not 5 because... yeah. It can't be 5 because that would put a G there, and this cell's not G. Right. Okay, so this is an 8 or a 9. One of these is Z. That's funny. This was not true at the time, I think. But that one's definitely not the one that's Z, because that would put Z on its own numbered rooms clue. So that's the one that's Z, which means that Z is 8, right? Sorry. No. Sorry, this is a G, not a Z. That just means one of these two is 6. Never mind. Sorry. Placing G, not Z. Correct. But I'm certainly not placing Z in that cell. So the same idea sort of works out. Yeah, it does make this a 4, right? And that's not a 6. So that is. Which makes that a 7 and that a 6. Okay. Z is 8 because that's where we put the 6, right? Z is 8. So that is an 8 as well. Right. We know E is 3, so this number is 3. That places 4 in this box because I know that F is not 4. So 4 is B. So this is my other 1, 2, 5, aka C. It's a little tricky to decide exactly how to do these. Does knowing that B is 4 help me in some way? I'm not confident that it actually does. This is a skyscraper, not a numbered rooms, bear cub daycare. So this is counting. Oh yeah, by Sudoku, C is 8 or 9 because it goes over there. Yeah, very good. Those two are both C, and so it's 8 or 9, but it's not 8 because Z is 8. So C is 9. I agree with that. So D is my other 1, 2, 5. Okay, well this is not the Z, right? Because if this is an 8, then that would be a second 4. So in fact, that's the 9, that's the 8. Because of this numbered rooms clue. And so this number here not exactly sure. Okay, it's not a 1 because Z isn't 1. 2, 3. Not 4. Not 5. Not 6. Could be 7. Can't be 8. Can't be 9 either. Because this cell C is 8 and 9, right? And so yeah, so A is no longer 1 because A is the skyscraper clue here. Agreed. I think we needed the E quad to show that E could not be 6. The E quad shows you that at the very beginning, the E quad helps you sort out whether E is high or low. Is the purpose of the E quad. The E quad is no longer doing anything. But there was an outsized chance that E was 6. However, in the world where E was 6, that cell was a 6. And so the E quad says, no, that's not what happens. But that's the only thing the E quad does. Okay, so one of these is 1. Oh, right. I don't because there's an E in row 3. Oh, that's sneaky. You're right, right. So the E quad actually does do nothing. Right. I was using this quad to rule E out of this cell, which is looking at an E across the row. Good point. Yeah, so I'm definitely happy to cut the quad now that I see that. Please delete that text. Please delete that circle. Haha. Okay. Let me share that updated link with myself to clipboard over here. Okay, and so Garion pointing out 5 is now too large for A, given that the 9 in this row is before the 8. So I can't possibly see 5 things in this row. So A is in fact 2. Which gets me that and that. Okay. So this can't be a 3 now, because if I make this, if I'm trying to get to a skyscraper of 2, that's going to go very badly. So this is a 7 over here. Oh, right, this is not 2 anymore. This isn't 2 anymore. I'm going to just mark this as 1, 5, but it's possible that that is not ideal. So now that A is 2, we know that A is in one of these two cells. Z in column 1 is here, right? So that's an 8. Should not forget our Sudoku. So 8 is in this cage. Could be a 3-cell 23 cage. DWeb, don't forget. I did not need that, JLib, because E needed to go in this box somewhere, and it wasn't going in any of these cells. Okay, what can this number actually be? Well, I can mark the rest of this column, I suppose. So this is only a 1, 3, or 5, apparently. 3, though, definitely won't work because D is 1 or 5. And regardless of whether D is 1 or 5, it doesn't go there. But now the point is D is unambiguously 1, right? Because if this is a 1, D is 1, and if this is a 5, D is also 1. So D is 1, and F is 5 is our answer there. Now, because of that, this cell's never 1 looking across the row, right? Because if this is a 1, of course the cell isn't a 1, but if this is a 5, then the 1 is there. So this isn't a 1 either, which actually places the 1 there. Let's see, that does guarantee that there's a 2 and a 3 down here somewhere. Let's see. Got all of that. Okay, A is 2. And we want to know where the 2 is. Let's have a look at this. Certainly not 1. Certainly not 2. So this seems to be able to be 3, except it really can't. I'll say why in a second. It can't be 4. Seems like it could... Oh, it can't be 5, because that would put the 2 in a wrong place. 6, 7, and it can't be 8 or 9. It can't be 3, because a 3 here would put a 2 here and would break that cell. So this is only a 6 or a 7, but this corner marked 2 tells me this actually isn't a 6. So it's actually a 7, which makes that a 2 and that a 3. So with sufficient thought, one can resolve that. Okay, let's paint some center marks around these various things with Mark and friends. Okay, so there's no... Okay, so this is now just a naked 2, apparently. Is that really true? Let's double check that that's actually true. This row needs 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this is not a 3 because of this. I guess, yeah, I could have just sort of said that by this 3, 7 pair. So this really is a 2. Those are a 3, 8, except that one is the 8 and that one's the 3. This is a pair of 1 and 4, I think. And so this is a triple of 2, 5, and 7. Is that right? Looks like 2, 5, and 7 is right, and that's the 5 now out of those. Okay, so this cage can't possibly add to 13, we're saying, because we'd need 2 other digits that added to 5. Are we sure the other 2 digits can't add to 5? No 1 or 3 in the cage. Right. This cell can't be a 1 because of this this D clue, right? Right. So there's no 3 in the cage by Sudoku, and there's no 1 once you take into account that cell can't be 1 because of the D. 3 7s looking at box 9. There are 3 7s looking at box 9, making that 7 2 7. So yeah, I agree. This is 6 8 9 now. Those aren't the 6, so that is. Okay, so given that we have still a skyscraper clue, let's write in this remaining triple. 2 3 4 5 6 7 is what is up here. So this being a 2, giving us too many things is one of the questions. I don't think so. Yeah, 2 above 7 seems okay. But I can never have the 8 before the 9 because I'm definitely seeing this cell and I'm seeing the 7. So I only get to see one more thing because E is 3. And so this has to be 9 and 8 in that order. At the very least. Okay, so that is putting some pressure on 9 in this box, by which I mean it is placing 9 in this box. This is a triple, of which that one is only able to be a 5. Let's see. This is a triple of some description. Let's see. We've got a pair and some triples up here. Apparently, this is a naked single 6. It's a 3. And so now I know something about these digits. Because they now can't be 5, 8, or 9 because of this 5, 8, 9 triple here. So these are from a bunch of things, except they're not 5, they're not 8, and they're not 9. Apparently they were already not 9. That is fine. Right. This cell definitely isn't 6, points out Garion, because if this is the 6, then we've now forced this to be 2, 6, 7, and then 9 doesn't work. And so if that's not the 6, that just is the 6. Rule 6 out of that cell. Pretty sure this has to be a 7, because otherwise this is 5, 8, 9, and 1, 2, 4. And 1, 2, 4 is 7. Plus 5, 8, 9 would be 29. But F is not 9, I don't think. Yeah, F is 5. So this needs to be a 7 to avoid that. 9, 3. Like that. Let's see. So what's this total now? That's 5, 8, 9 is 22, 29. And we need to get to something with a 5 in it as the end. So I need these to either add to 6 or 16. Probably going to be 6. So that's going to be a 4 and a 2. It gives me a lot of stuff over there. We can probably mark the rest of the grid and to get some freebies. 1, 2, 6 there. No one's there. No one's there. No one's there. That seems to be a 1 by Sudoku. And then I suppose we have this little killer to contend with. Let's see. That is 9, 11, 16, 24. And we're going to something ending in 8. So we need these to either add to 14 or 4, right? 14's not going to work, so I better have these be 5 and 9, if I did that correctly. I don't promise that I did it correctly, but we'll find out. 8, 9, 4, 3, 5, and a 3, and we did it. Woohoo! I did it correctly, but said the wrong words. Excellent. That is my usual. I mean, that's one of my common ways of doing it, at least. Alrighty, I think I am happy with that. I don't think any of the steps were too egregious. Certainly kept this on like the. This is certainly on the more esoteric, weirder side of zetamath puzzles. But it all works out. Alrighty. I think I'll probably dump this in testing over on Cracking the Cryptic Discord at some point soon. Once I like reread over the rules and convince myself that the rules read kind of reasonable. I mean, this is definitely intended to be more wacky and esoteric because I assume that's kind of the whole point of the Zodiac series. The E-quad was deleted, correct, in my current version of it because of the... I think it was you who pointed out that I was using the E-quad to rule E out of this cell. Which was not, in fact, a necessary component of ruling E out of that cell. Although it does make it so you have to pay more attention. It does make me a little sad that then there's only one quad in the puzzle. Maybe I will restore the E-quad because it makes it slightly easier to see and does that. I'll have to have a look at it once I go to actually submit it to setting. But yeah, I agree the E is unnecessary and it's pretty cool to remove it, so I probably will leave it removed and then have one quadruple, which is a little bit sad because I added this quadruple mostly so that I wouldn't have only one quadruple in the grid, but now we're going to have only one quadruple in the grid, so what can you do? Alrighty. Ooh, excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. This quad also did sort of resolve some of the things pretty nicely. But anyway, that I was happy with how that sort of unraveled. And mostly my goal is the puzzle should be mostly over when you're done solving the cipher. And I think when we did our test solve, I think it turned out the puzzle was mostly over once we finished solving the cipher, which is the ideal hope, I think, for cipher puzzles. But with that, I am going to wrap up stream for today. So huge thank you for hanging out in this somewhat unusual setting stream. It was sort of last minute because Sudoku Pad was being a little bit weird. But we can be happy that I did this because I think I've had this on my plate to do for like 3 months or something. So it's good that it got done. But thank you to everyone who supports the stream as usual. We greatly appreciate the support we get from all of you. It helps us keep doing all of this good stuff. If you've been missing the videos around the channel lately, Tristan has been incredibly busy with Easter because he works for a Christian institution. However, Easter is now over. I guess technically almost over. And so there will be videos coming back. You can see some of me playing Slay the Spire 2, probably some more of me playing Root Trees, and assorted other things coming up soon. So look forward to that, as well as solving the Super Sudokuoid, which is basically like a Sudoku-vania 2, Electric Boogaloo, if you like, although it's easier than Sudoku-vania. All right. Last but not least, let me thank the Turbines, Daniel, David, Franco, Nell, Nordy, Plunktime, and ELSF. Thank you so much. I'll see you all real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.